There is a distinct shift in the air right before a forest storm breaks. The scent of damp earth and crushed pine needles deepens, the wind hushes the forest birds, and the world seems to hold its collective breath. It is in these fleeting moments of heavy anticipation that the true allure of the wild calls to us. We do not venture into the deep woods to avoid the weather. We go to meet it head on, to feel the raw, unfiltered power of nature. Here, hidden among ancient lichen, draped pines, a solitary rider has found his sanctuary. The crackle of dry twigs under heavy boots and the mechanical snap of luggage buckles are the only sounds interrupting the quiet. This journey is not just about surviving a rainy night in the wilderness. It is about the deliberate art of crafting a personal haven from the ground up, a place where the roar of a torrential downpour becomes the ultimate, comforting soundtrack to solitude. The process begins with a practiced, unhurried rhythm. Beside his fully loaded white motorcycle, the man works methodically, unpacking a massive, dark grey tunnel tent. He spreads the heavy canvas over a black ground mat, the fabric rustling softly against the forest floor. The sky above is already bruising into a dark, ominous grey. With swift, deliberate motions, he threads long aluminum poles through their fabric sleeves. The sharp, metallic clinks ring out clearly in the clearing as the structure slowly arcs into its signature shape. A low, distant rumble of thunder echoes through the timberline, a gentle warning to hurry. Just as he hammers the final pegs deep into the soil and pulls the guy lines taut, the first heavy drops of rain begin to fall. Suddenly, the sky opens up completely. The gentle tapping escalates into a deafening, rushing roar as the storm descends. In a brilliant stroke of rugged practicality, the man unzips the massive U-shaped front door of his newly built shelter, walks out into the deluge, and fires up his motorcycle. The engine's deep growl cuts fiercely through the sound of the storm as he drives the bike directly off the muddy grass and into the cavernous front vestibule of the tent. He cuts the ignition. The sudden mechanical silence leaves only the relentless, heavy drumming of rain hammering against the nylon roof. Safe inside his makeshift garage, he begins to unload his storage boxes, the wet and chaotic world effectively shut out. As the downpour intensifies, turning the forest floor into a network of muddy streams, he sets to work on the interior. He clips the pale yellow inner tent into place, creating a dry secondary barrier against the dampness. But the forest demands a bit more effort to ensure his safety. Donning a heavy black raincoat, he steps back out into the fury of the storm. The rain is blinding, the trees shrouded in a thick mist. He pulls the exterior ropes tighter and adjusts the front awning to prevent the heavy water from pooling and collapsing the roof. Returning inside, breathless and dripping wet, he glances up at the transparent skylight. A slow, steady drip of water is breaching the scene. Instead of frustration, a wry, helpless smile spreads across his face. A silent, humorous acknowledgement that out here, nature always has the final say. Accepting the minor leap, he simply places a folding bucket beneath the drip to catch the water and continues building his refuge. He zips up the inner sleeping quarters, transforming it into a cozy, impenetrable sanctuary. He inflates an air mattress and drapes it with a warm, intricately patterned ethnic blanket. Moving back to the vestibule, right beside his resting motorcycle, he unfolds a wooden egg roll table and a khaki kermit chair. He sits down, exhaling a long, heavy breath, finally allowing himself to relax and simply watch the rain cascade through the misty pines. The chill of the damp evening begins to set in, signaling that it is time for a hot meal. On his wooden table, illuminated by the soft, warm glow of a vintage-style LED lantern, he sets up a minimalist titanium stove. He unpacks a container of pre-made cabbage rolls, carefully brushing them with a rich, dark sauce before setting the metal tin over the blue flame. The sharp hiss of the gas burner blends seamlessly with the background noise of the rain. Wearing a thick black down jacket against the dropping temperature, he eats in quiet contentment, his eyes fixed on the mesmerizing, waterlogged landscape just beyond his open door. With his hunger satisfied, the pace of the night slows completely. He retreats to his warm bed, propping himself up to read a paperback book, occasionally reaching over to a tin for a cookie. The storm outside shows no signs of stopping, the water rushing in small rivers past his tent pegs. Stepping out barefoot into the muddy grass one last time, he drives a metal pole into the ground and hangs a bright yellow kerosene lantern. It burns fiercely in the mist, a tiny defiant lighthouse in an ocean of dark, dripping trees. Back inside, he dries his feet and pulls on a pair of thick, warm black socks, a simple comfort that feels like an absolute luxury in the damp wild. He boils fresh water on a small stove, pouring it into a yellow ceramic mug to steep some hot tea. Cupping the warm mug in both hands, he takes a slow sip, his gaze lost in the tranquil, rainy void outside. He makes his final rounds, adjusting the overhead lead strips and small hanging lamps, until the ambient lighting is just right, then retreats into the inner tent. He zips the mesh door shut, pulling the heavy quilt over his shoulders as the lights fade to a soft amber glow. There is a profound and grounding beauty in this kind of deliberate isolation. It strips away the endless noise and complex demands of our daily lives, leaving only the fundamental, deeply satisfying needs for warmth, shelter, and peace. Lying there, listening to the rain fiercely drumming against the canvas roof, the world feels incredibly small, incredibly simple, and incredibly safe. It makes you wonder about your own perfect refuge. If you could escape into a rainy forest tonight, wrapped in the warmth of a sturdy tent with a hot cup of tea in your hands, who is the one person you would want sitting across that small wooden table, sharing this beautiful, stormy silence with you?